Today, the New York Times asked federal judge to punish OpenAI, and not for really a copyright, for allegedly hiding the evidence of it. And the story underneath is one of the most incredible own goals I've ever seen in tech. Man, self-ponage. Here's what the Times says, and I want to be careful because these are allegations. OpenAI denies all of it, of course. The Times says OpenAI built a tool. They gave it a name, Project Giraffe. And inside it was something called a Bloom filter, whose entire job was to catch ChatGPT red-handed, regurgitating copyrighted articles. They say OpenAI collected 78 million conversations to measure exactly how much of other people's journalism its model was spitting back out. And then, allegedly, after the lawsuit landed, they deleted billions of those outputs and handed the court 20 million log sample, so blacked out that the judge called it unusable. You see, now sit with what that means. You build the camera, you point it at your own door, specifically because you are worried about what's walking through your door. The camera catches something, and then instead of fixing the door, you allegedly pull the tape out and set it on fire. You know what? This sounds like every political game you've ever heard of. My guy, the tape was the least of your problems. Because here's the thing every kid learns on the playground, and every lawyer bills $400 an hour to repeat. It is never the crime. It is the cover-up. Nixon didn't fall for the break-in. Martha Stewart didn't go to prison for the stock trade. They went down for what they did after. The lying, the shredding, the deleting. Except if you're Clinton. Because a jury can forgive a mistake. What a jury cannot forgive is watching you scramble to hide it, because the scramble tells them you knew. And that's the part that actually matters here, way beyond OpenAI. The fair use defense for training AI rests on a vibe. It's, we didn't think this was infringing, we thought it was transformative, no harm done, right? The argument works a whole lot better if you did not build a dedicated internal tool to count precisely how much you were infringing. You cannot stand in court and say, we had no idea, while you are holding a spreadsheet titled, here is exactly how much of an idea we had. Project Giraffe, if it is real, isn't just evidence, it's a confession, notarized in triplicate. So let me kill the two lazy takes, because I don't want either one here. The first, OpenAI is pure evil, burn it down, slow down. These are allegations in a sanctions motion, not a verdict. And the New York Times is not a neutral saint here, they never were. They want a licensing check with a lot of zeros, and they want the destroy the evidence as an extremely convenient thing to allege when what you really want is for a judge to assume that you have already won. The second take is the opposite one. The Times is a dying newspaper shaking down future. Who cares? Well, that's also lazy, because even if their motives are completely mercenary, the question underneath is real, and if it is coming for every single AI company, when your model eats the entire internet, whose work comes out the other end? And who gets paid for it? That does not disappear because you don't like newspapers. And look, I build with these models every single day. I am not anti-OpenAI, kinda, because they like to blow people up. But anyway, I want them to win the parts that are worth winning. But I have been in enough rooms to know this. The moment you build the tool that measures your own exposure, you have created the single most dangerous document in the building. Come on, guys. And pretending it doesn't exist is exactly how a smart company turns a survivable lawsuit into an unsurvivable one. So here's the takeaway. And it's actually for you and many of the operators and businesses that listen to this stuff. It's not a $100 billion lab. In the AI era, every log is discoverable. Every internal how bad is it tool is a future exhibit with your name on it. If you are scared enough to build with the camera, you are scared enough to fix what it's filming. Don't measure the problem and delete the tape. Fix the door. It's never the crime. It's the cover-up. And OpenAI allegedly just filmed its own